Good evening, everyone. Strong winds have left behind temperatures in the 20s and falling snow. We'll check with Dick Goddard on the possibility of school closings in just a minute.
But first, the destruction left behind by two different tornadoes. We begin tonight with Fox 8 News reporter Brandy Sowers live in Tuscarawas County. Brandy.
Well, the National Weather Service, Tim, confirms that an F2 tornado touched down here in Dover Township with winds up to 120 miles per hour. Tonight, at least 5 families are without homes.
But you can replace houses and cars. People's tough to replace.
That's right.
That's a popular thought for people in Dover Township. Amazingly, there was only one minor injury among this mess an F2 tornado left behind.
And it just sounded like a giant going down a picket fence with a stick. I mean, it just click, 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 and it was over.
John Craddock was taking a shower when the twister ripped the roof off his home and tore down his garage.
Didn't know anything was wrong until I stepped out of the shower and there's insulation all over the place and parts of the house in the basement.
85-year-old Herb Betzel lost his home. His roof ended up on his barn. Fortunately, the horses inside weren't injured, but the thought of what is lost hurts.
It didn't hurt the horses any, but they got scared off it.
Just awful. I wish we sure gave in our thoughts and prayers. My goodness, this is awful.
But the victims of the tornado are looking on the bright side.
I can only say the Lord was with me. I tell you, we could be killed.
Through the bitter wind that still lingers, victims and their friends get as much finished before nightfall.
Something I can help you with? Hey.
When darkness hits, work stops. The Sheriff's Department and Dover firefighters set up a mobile command post to prevent looting and make residents feel safe. And obviously power has been restored to homes still standing in the area.
The houses with the most damage, all the power has been cut to those houses for security reasons. And then the people that could occupy their houses this evening have power restored.
And when tomorrow comes, residents will begin another day of cleaning up what a tornado ripped apart in an instant. The path of destruction here in Dover Township is 175 yards wide. Tim and Wilma, at least 15 homes suffered some form of damage.
What an awful thing for so many people, Brandy.
Sure is a lot of cleaning up to do.
Yes, there is. Brandy Sowers reporting. Thank you.
Now, the other hard-hit area was Wayne County, where a tornado tore up homes and businesses and left a dozen people injured. Fox 8 News reporter Jack Shea continues our team coverage from Wooster.
Dozens of homes here in Wooster were damaged by the tornado, and many residents had close calls with the twister. For instance, this tree came within 5 feet of crashing into a living room with a mother and child sitting inside. Kristen Willie and her husband are trying to find their belongings that were tossed to the 4 winds by Wednesday's tornado. While the situation looks bleak, Kristen is not worried about the material things that she's lost. She's just relieved that this huge tree in her front yard did not hit the house while she and her 2-year-old daughter were inside.
I'm glad we're here, and I'm glad my daughter's okay and that everything was fine. We can replace all the stuff.
This is the only known video of the tornado that tore through Wooster. The flashes on the screen are power lines and transformers exploding after being knocked down by the tornado.
Hear that? That could be a tornado, no kidding.
The video was shot by Jack Jones and his father.
We didn't hear that freight train sound, but we definitely heard some weird sound going through, and it was really odd because you could see the direct line of how it went through into Wooster.
The twister made a beeline for the huge Rubbermaid manufacturing complex in Wooster, tearing off the roof. Hundreds of workers scurried for cover. 7 were injured by falling debris. Work crews are now working around the clock to remove hundreds of downed trees, repairing damaged homes, and putting downed power lines back up.
They tell us where to go and we start, and one after another, they'll quit.
11-year-old Lando Castro describes the seconds it took the tornado to blow through town as the most terrifying moments of his life. Lando is among hundreds of Wooster school children who missed school on Thursday because of the damage done by the storm.
And what did the kids think about the tornado and missing school?
Well, they like missing school, but they don't really like the tornado.
Many homes here in Wooster are still without power, and we're told that hotels in town are now filling up with residents waiting for the debris from the tornado to be removed and their power restored. Jack Shea, Fox 8 News in Worcester.
Thank you.
Their homes, and now with all the cleanup, dealing with some very cold temperatures. Paul, just a miserable situation there.
Oh, it sure is, Lee. It's a frigid night down here in Worcester, and for many families, it's just as cold inside their homes as it is outside tonight after a tornado whipped through here last night, leaving many people, thousands of people without power. This trucking company just pulled up, and these guys are out here working tonight out behind these homes where just look what a mess it is. This is what they're contending with. They have to clean up all this debris just to get to the down power lines before those can be fixed. So for many families down here in Worcester, it's going to be another long night.
No food, nothing. No electricity, no phone, no communication.
A tornado twists and shreds a destructive path through their Worcester neighborhood last night, knocking out power and heat. Tonight, a frigid blast follows.
Thank God I have a fire here gone, but it's gone down in heat here, and I don't have that much wood left.
Now here we got a tornado. I don't understand. And then it starts blowing snow. What else do we need? What else is going to happen?
So Ted Brown puts another log on the fire, but dry wood is going fast. This fire won't last.
Yeah, we're going to have to find something. It's going to get cold here.
That's it. They've had enough. Ted and his fiancée head to a Red Cross shelter where they get a voucher to spend this cold night in a warm hotel room. But not far away, word of an elderly man who stayed at his cold home too long and is being treated for hypothermia.
A lot of the people, the older people especially, they're staying in their homes. And last night the heat stayed in the house, but today the houses are getting cold. And they're starting to feel the effects.
Now, a lot of people tonight are staying with friends and family to get through another cold night down here as crews continue to work to try and get power restored. We stumbled onto this neighborhood in central Worcester a short time ago. Both sides of the street, again, a mess, twisted metal right there. Look at these garages back here, some homes with tarps on them. It's going to be a long cleanup process down here in Worcester. This is what people will be doing for days, maybe weeks to come. Reporting live in Worcester, Paul Kiska, News Channel 5.
Okay, Paul, thank you. And by the way, Worcester City Schools are open tomorrow. We have...
Well, no doubt about that, Nikki. I'll tell you what a difference a day makes. Sunshine today, it's very cold outside, but yesterday we had snow and sleet, and it was a crummy day. They're being able to make a lot of progress today. If you look over my shoulder, you can see some of the damage, and there is a lot of damage over at the building. That's a guest house of Rubbermaid. Look at all the trees down, some of them pushed over, some of the others snapped off halfway up. Look at the Rubbermaid building. A lot of work going on. You see a window out, also down lower you see some tape and things. One of the big concerns here in Worcester is the damage done at Rubbermaid. You can see some of it obvious from the street, but others of it, the roof, portions of that torn off as well. The winds have died down, so we should be able to get you some views of that a little bit later on from the Action News chopper, but not right now. Around town, the chainsaws continue to roar. Power crews are finally making some progress. In some cases, all that had to happen was the resetting of a switch. In other cases, entire rows of poles, as seen here, had to be replaced. It is a perfect example of a before and after job. In all honesty, AEP crews, American Electric Power, were the last on the scene to respond. We saw lots of cable TV and phone crews yesterday. Not until late in the day did AEP crews arrive en masse, and many of those were from as far away as Tiffin. So progress being made throughout the town. We said at the beginning that some of the concern, a lot of the concern here in Rubbermaid are the 1,200 employees, or in Worcester, the 1,200 employees of Rubbermaid. Carrie Butler is here joining us from Rubbermaid. Carrie, first of all, thank you. How are things going at the plant? Is everybody back? Or?
We're up and running 24/7 again. The first night we were back up to our maintenance shift was in, cleaning up right away, within hours after it hit.
What's it say to you about the people? I mean, they're all back. Production, you're shipping stuff again already this far after a disaster like this.
I'm tremendously proud of this organization. Everybody here just pitches in, puts aside their personal differences, their personal issues, comes in and has pitched in. We have had tremendous support.
Very good. Carrie, thank you very much. 1,200 employees, millions of dollars, of course, pumped into the local economy. Many of the folks had their own personal homes damaged, but still came to work and got this plant back up and running. And as she told me earlier, probably by the end of next week, probably everything really back where it was. So they're being able to come up. And we're going to report throughout the afternoon. Again, we're going to follow the tornado's path using the Action News chopper later on. Of course, we'll have that coming out on Action News at 5 and 6. For now, reporting live in Worcester, Paul Orlowski, 19 Action News.
Okay, Paul, a lot of teamwork out there in Worcester for sure. One Cleveland building damaged.
Had a few drinks.